48.
Objection, report, may we have the report for the second?
Oh,
115 and 117 are, again, the photographic identification numbers as they appear on the property reports.
And is there a report that indicates what their item numbers are?
Yes, there is.
And do you know what their item numbers are?
I would have to look offhand. I can't tell you.
Would it refresh your recollection if you did look?
Yes?
Do you have something to do that with?
Yes. Photo ID 115 is evidentiary item number 50.
Okay, so just so... All right, you're holding up, we're holding up now People's 48. Okay. The item that you pointed out, item 115, photo ID number 115 in People's 48G, what item number is that?
It's evidentiary item number 50.
And the blood drop shown in People's 53C that has the number 115, what is that? Is that an item number or photo ID
It's
number?
an evidentiary item number.
Okay. So what is marked as 115 in 53C,
Please suggest, Your Honor, you can tell us.
I haven't finished the question.
proceed.
The blood drop marked with the number 115 in 48G has what item number?
Ask and answer.
The item that, I'm sorry, I
Photo
was
ID
looking.
number 115 has what item number?
I believe it was item number 50. Item 50.
Okay. And the photo ID number item shown, photo ID number 117 goes to item number what?
52.
52?
Yes.
And 117, is that shown in the photograph I'm pointing to, 48I?
Yes.
And is there an item number indicated for the blood drop shown by the number 117 in 53F?
Yes, that's evidentiary item number 117.
Now, with respect to 116 shown in 53D, can you tell us, sir, is that the item number or photo ID number?
It's the item number.
Okay.
One, please.
Okay. Now, do you see... Do I ask this be marked People's next in order, 97?
All right, so mark.
All right, sir, do you recognize, have you looked at the monitor?
Yes.
and you see the number 116.
Yes.
Can you tell us from your recollection, sir, where is that blood, where's the gate on which that blood is
Object,
shown?
Your Honor, to state the blood, its conclusion, the court witness, and
Sustained.
question.
What appears to be blood?
There's an objection sustained.
You can answer the question. What appears to be blood?
What appears to be
Re-ask.
blood?
Yes, that is on the front gate.
The front gate.
That's correct.
So is this a different item from the one, is this a different location from the one depicted in People's 53, specifically 53D next to you here?
Yes. That's a photograph ID number.
And is there an item number that goes with that photo ID number, sir?
Yes.
And what is the item number?
It's item number 51.
And what is the item number for what appears to be blood in the photograph marked as 53D?
Well, As a state, it's vague, and you have a number. There's a number in the question.
What number is depicted in 53D?
Photo ID number?
No, no, no.
That's item 116. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Is there a photo ID number for the items shown 115, 116, and 117 on People's 53?
No.
No photo ID numbers?
No.
Those are just item numbers?
Yes.
But the blood shown on People's 97
Strike.
and
Blood.
People's 48, just that?
Rephrase the question. What appears to be?
Oh. The, what appears to be blood in People's 97 and in People's 48, do those, what appear to be blood drops, have item numbers that are different from the numbers shown in these photographs?
Yes, they do.
And those would be the item numbers you just stated, sir?
Yes.
Are there reports to indicate what the item numbers are for each of the items you just described, sir?
Yes, there are.
And are there reports that also indicate what the photo ID numbers are for each of these items?
Yes.
And if one needed to straighten out any confusion about that, could one look at those reports?
Certainly.
Are there any items that have been recovered that have been given the same number?
No.
Does each item of evidence have its own number in this case?
That's correct.
And are there reports to indicate that, sir?
Yes, there are.
Would this be a good place?
Sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our recess for the noon hour. Please remember my admonition to you. Don't discuss the case amongst yourselves. Don't form any opinions about the case. Don't have any conversations with anybody. Don't conduct any deliberations until the matter has been submitted to you. We'll see you back here at 1:30. Detective Lange ordered to be back here at 1:30. All right? Not finished reading the file.
Your Honor, one matter that other counsel has asked me to raise, and there was some mention during the during the redirect of Mr. Lange as to the existence of some DNA results on the fingernail scrapings of Ms. Simpson, and I wonder if Ms. Clark can educate me and the other members of this side, because we are not familiar or aware of any reports or anything reflecting that, in fact, there have been DNA tests performed.
Your Honor, can we have Detective Lange step outside, please?
Why?
Ms. Carter.
He obviously already knows.
It's about him and I step up.
He's the investigating officer.
Making a difference in this instance.
Well, this is a discovery issue, not a testimonial issue. Ms. Clark, is there any DNA testing results available regarding the nail scrapings?
Yes, DOJ has performed those tests, and I believe that the defense expert, Ed Blake, was present when they were performed. So I guess they're not communicating with their experts, but the results were that the DNA tests were consistent with the markers of Nicole Brown. And we're doing further testing now at Cellmark. As the court is probably aware, DOJ does D1S80 and DQ. Right. And Cellmark will be doing polymarkers just to further demonstrate that it is her blood underneath her fingernails. And that will be complete shortly, if it isn't already. But I know that the samples were completed at DOJ, and the results were consistent with Nicole Brown, and that further testing will be conducted at Cellmark, and I think it's already gone to Cellmark, but I'm not positive. Rock and Woody are here, Your Honor. If the court would like me to, I can call upstairs and get more definitive information on that.
All right.
Shall I?
Why don't you do that, and we'll take that up at the conclusion of the afternoon session.
Aren't they supposed to come to Your Honor, these results? We
I
don't.
assume that they did. I mean, I've got,
No, these results come to Your Honor, is what I'm asking.
no, to tell you the truth, all I do is log in what comes in and distribute copies.
Because you give them this right away, don't you?
Yes.
All right, so you have a copy.
How many lawyers are going to address this issue for the
Ms. Clark?
defense?
Well, Ms. Clark, have your assistants bring down that information so we can just double check to make sure we're talking about the same reports. You may already have it.
You don't.
Well, we'll check and see.
Okay. Guys, would you bring it down?
Turtello is here only because of the in-camera. Does the court have an estimation so he can be on his way? And
Well, Mr. Tortolo, as I indicated to you, I did not finish reading those materials over the lunch hour, but I want to go back into session with the jury, and I'll complete my examination of those matters this afternoon sometime, and I'll issue a written finding. All right.
Mr. Bridger, next statement.
I think the confusion is over the EAP marker, which I don't, to our knowledge, there's been no retesting on that. That's the report that indicates it's not Nicole.
All right, well, Mr. Blazer, let's take this up after we conclude with the jury this afternoon.
That's right.
All right. All right, thank you, counsel. All right, Ms. Clark, what's your guesstimate as to how much longer we have?
Depending on the number of interruptions, it should be another half hour, 45 minutes.
All right, let's have the jury, please. All right, let the record reflect that all the members of our jury panel are again with us. Detective Tom Lange is on the witness stand. Good afternoon, Detective. You're reminded you're still under oath.
Sure.
Ms. Clark.
Without the reporter.
Yes, sir. Mrs. Robertson. Do I want to?
No, no.
All right, thank you, counsel. Ms. Clark, you may continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay. Okay, Detective Lange, you recall that a video was shown to you by Mr. Cochran during...
I'm sorry?
It's yours.
No, I told.
All right, proceed. And
Detective Lange.
Which exhibit is this, Ms. Clark?
Defense... Defense 1043, Ron.
All right, proceed.
All right, you were shown this video by Mr. Cochran during cross-examination of the crime scene at 875 South Bundy. Do you recall that, sir?
Yes.
All right, first of all, in the frame shown to you right now, which is marked with a counter at the bottom of 1:11:33:07, do you see a white object in the background near the steps?
Yes.
And what is that?
That is the area of the body of Nicole Brown Simpson.
Okay, and who put that blanket on her body?
I did.
Did you touch her body in any way when you did that?
No, not myself, other than with the blanket.
Did the blood on her back and on her thighs appear to be wet or dry?
It was dry.
Okay. All right, you see yourself there, sir?
Yes.
Are you wearing gloves?
Yes.
Okay, did you see other points in the video when you were not wearing gloves earlier when it was shown to you by Mr. Cochran?
Yes.
And can you explain to us why you're wearing gloves at this point?
I am actually in the crime scene, doing my crime scene investigation, measuring evidence, measuring distances between bodies, this type of thing.
And when you were not wearing gloves, what were you doing?
I think it's easy for some.
All roll.
Well, other things, other than the direct crime scene investigation, I was talking to people. When I walked through the house, I wasn't wearing gloves.
Were you collecting any evidence inside the house?
No.
At the points when you were not wearing gloves, were you collecting or dealing with any evidence?
No.
Now, you can see, do you recall stepping around the crime scene? You recall making those movements that are shown in the tape at this point?
Yes.
And what were you doing? Why were you stepping that way?
Stepping around the blood so as not to step in it.
I think this is the slowest slow motion I've ever seen.
All right, record should reflect that the videotape is being shown in what appears to be a slow motion and now stopped. Ms. Clark.
Yes, I'm waiting for the, we could speed it up just a little. Okay, can you tell us where you're standing, sir, at this point?
I'm standing on the walkway just to the east of the front of Nicole Brown Simpson.
Are you standing in blood, sir?
No.
Now, in this video, are you able to see your feet?
No.
Are you able to see the area where your shoes are touching the ground?
No.
Keep going. All right, what are you doing there, sir?
I'm measuring distances.
And you see the pair of legs in the white pants and the person in the blue, what appears to be the blue pants up on the landing?
Yes.
Are they standing in blood?
No.
And who are they?
The coroner's investigator and the coroner's driver.
Now, do you happen to know whether at that point there had been print people had done any work along the railings in that area yet?
Yes, I believe those railings had been printed.
Can you stop here, Jonathan? Okay, you see do you see someone up on the landing in a white coat there, sir?
Yes.
And can you tell us who that is?
I can't make it out.
Okay, keep going. All right, stop here. Okay, can you tell us, sir, first of all, the gentleman in the white jacket,
It's Mr. Rokar, the photographer.
and who is the man standing to his left?
I believe it's Detective Phillips.
And can you tell us where they are standing?
Not from that angle, no.
All right, we're looking
Can you-
at frame 122213.
Thank you, Your Honor. Were there any news crews allowed inside the yellow tape on June 13th, sir?
No.
To your knowledge, what was the closest any of the film crews were allowed to get?
I believe they were all across the street on the sidewalk in the Parkway area.
So these shots we see are actually being filmed from across the street or in the street?
Or
That's correct.
And are you able to see the feet of any of these people or the ground that the feet are touching?
No.
So can you tell from these photographs whether they're standing on the grass or standing on the walkway?
I can't, no.
Stop. Okay. Can you now see? Can you now identify for us where Mr. Rokar are and Detective Phillips are?
No, Mr. Rokar appears to be in the upper left-hand, I believe it's Mr. Rokar and Phillips, upper left-hand corner portion of the photo.
And does this appear to be filmed from the sidewalk area across the street from the 875?
that's leading, but I think the jurors can
Can you see that?
see that, and since they've stood on that very place themselves.
That's true.
All right, this record should reflect this is frame 122913.
Do you see yourself in this shot, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, stop. Oh, way too far. Keep going. Here. Okay, can you tell us what's happening in this frame, sir? This is 1/12/40/09.
It appears that one of the bodies is about to be removed.
And can you tell us who's standing inside the crime tape, apparently inside the crime tape? The three gentlemen with their backs to us in dark jackets?
Yes, so from left to right, Detective Phillips. Man in the center is Criminalist Supervisor Steve Johnson. To his right is Lieutenant Rogers.
Can you tell where they're standing with respect to the walkway, sir?
No, I can't.
Can you tell whether whether any of them are standing on the sidewalk as opposed to the walkway?
It's possible, but I can't really see from that angle.
The palm tree that's shown on the left-hand side of the photograph, sir, do you know where that palm tree is located with respect to 875 South Bundy?
Yes.
Where is that?
It's on the parkway to the front of the location, between the sidewalk and the street.
And do you see someone wearing something that seems to have white letters on the back?
Yes.
And can you tell us who that is?
It's the coroner's assistant.
And there's a gentleman in a white shirt just past him. Do you see that?
Yes.
Just above? And who's
Yeah.
that?
I can't make it out from here.
Okay, keep going. Were you wearing a white shirt that day, sir?
Yes.
Stop. Can you tell us, first of all, the gentleman with his back to us in the dark trousers and the white shirt, who that is?
I believe it's possibly the commanding officer of the SID, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Can you tell where he is standing in relationship to the walkway, sir?
Appears to be on the sidewalk, but I can't see his feet, so I can't really tell.
Okay. And in the just past him in the photograph, can you describe the three people that you see there?
There's the inside the tape, and the man in the blue is the coroner's assistant. And over far to the left appears to be the photographer, Mr. Rokar. And above appears to be Ms. Ratcliffe, the coroner's investigator.
Okay. Stop. A little bit more. A little bit more. $49. Right. Okay. Okay, can you tell us, first of all, who is depicted in this photograph? And this is, for the record, 1/13/49/11.
I am pictured on the left. To my right and above me is Detective Phillips, and to his right is Mr. Rokar, photographer. Appears that Miss Radcliffe is bending over to the right.
Okay, that's the person whose torso is cut off by the right edge of the photo.
Yes.
And are you standing on pavement there, or are you standing in shrubbery?
I believe I'm back on the grass shrubbery area.
And Detective Phillips
I believe the same, but I can't see from here.
and Rokar?
I can't tell.
Oh, could you back up? Jonathan, stop, back up for a second. Right, stop. Ooh. A little bit forward. All right, can you tell now where you're all standing?
Yeah, it appears to be the grassy dirt area to the south of the sidewalk,
Okay.
or the south of the walkway.
That's frame 113-5405.
Thank you. Go ahead. Yeah.
The end of this particular thing.
Okay. Okay, stop. Thank you. Okay, you see, you recognize someone there holding a brown paper bag?
Yes,
Who's that?
that's the criminalist, Mr. Fung.
All right, now at that point in time, sir, was he collecting evidence?
I don't believe so.
And do you recall what was in that brown paper bag?
Yes, there was a glove, I believe, but this is the time where he showed me the glove from Rockingham that I wanted to see.
And you wanted to see the glove from Rockingham for what reason?
Wanted to visually compare it to the left-handed glove that I had at the crime scene.
And was that left-handed glove still,
Objective, all discussions to use it.
where was that left-handed glove at the time that Dennis Fung brought the glove in the paper bag that you see in this photograph to you?
Still in position.
And why did you want him to bring the brown paper bag to you over where the left-handed glove was located?
I wanted to visually compare both gloves to see if there were a possibility of a match.
And what did you determine?
In my mind, they matched.
Now, how long was Dennis Fung at the scene?
I believe approximately 5 hours, perhaps longer.
Did we identify this frame?
I don't think so, thank you. 01, 18, 1800. Okay, after you determined that the gloves matched, sir, did you make any effort in your investigation to determine what size the gloves were?
Yes,
And what size did you determine them to be?
extra large.
Foundation, objection, not further foundation.
Sustained.
All right, were you interested in... Sir, at that point, when you compared the two gloves, the one from Rockingham and the one from Bundy, had you had an interview with the defendant yet?
No.
After examining those, after seeing and comparing those gloves just visually, did you go and see the defendant at Parker Center?
Yes, later that afternoon.
Did you look at his hands?
Yes.
How big do they look?
Objective for that question, and how big they look. It's vague.
It's kind of big.
It is vague. Compare it to your hand, sir. How big do the defendant's hand look?
Object, that's, again, it's relevant material. You want to see Mr. Simpson's hands, they're here. The objective form of that question. It's vague.
So the question relative to your own hand, how big was his hand, that's an appropriate question. Doesn't tell us a lot, but
Well, it's-
Okay.
Large, much larger than mine.
Okay.
Much larger than mine.
And after seeing his hands, sir, did you attempt to determine through your investigation what size the gloves were?
Yes.
overruled.
Seeing his hands, objective form of the question.
Overruled.
I'd already determined the size of the gloves.
And did the size of the gloves play a factor in determining whether or not to file the case ultimately on June the 17th?
Objective form of that question. That's relevant material.
Overruled.
That's it.
Overruled.
It was one of the factors, yes.
Let me ask you about something else, another factor, sir. The glove that you found at Bundy, you said, was that right or left-handed?
It's left-handed.
When you saw the defendant on June the 13th, did you notice an injury to either hand?
Yes.
Which one?
finger of the left hand, middle finger of the left hand.
Did that play any part in your making your determination to file the case on June the 17th?
Yes.
Now, if you know, sir, did Dennis Fung proceed, I think you indicated earlier that he proceeded to Rockingham first to do his investigation?
Yes.
All right. Do you know at what point you recall seeing him at Bundy?
Yes, it was approximately 10:10 or 10:15.
And then, do you know how long he remained at Bundy?
Several hours. Again, I believe it's approximately 5 hours, perhaps longer.
And how long do you see him in this tape? Of those 5 hours he spent at Bundy?
Oh, just a few seconds.
Object to the following question. You haven't seen all the tape? That's a
All of
vague
this,
question.
all of this tape. All of this tape?
All of this tape, yeah.
You can answer the question. Tape pretty much speaks for itself, though, how long you see Mr. Fung on the tape.
Mr. Fung's on the tape for, appears just to be a few seconds.
Now, did he, after that, return to Rockingham?
Objection on behalf of his own counsel, Your Honor.
I assume. Ms. Clark, rephrase the question.
Did you see Mr. Fung at Rockingham later on that day?
Yes.
Do you know what he was doing at Rockingham later on that day?
Yes.
What was he doing?
He responded pursuant to a search warrant at that location.
And did what?
Assisted.
For the foundation.
Ms. Clark, rephrase the question.
Did you see him at Rockingham? Did you see what he was doing?
Yes.
Where was he at
He was-
Rockingham? Inside or outside?
Both.
Okay. Did you see him inside the residence when you went back later on the afternoon of June the 13th?
Yes.
And what was he doing inside the residence?
He was conducting an investigation for evidence, search of blood evidence.
Did you see him testing any blood stains out in the driveway at that time?
Well,
I-
what appeared to
What
be.
appeared to be.
I did not observe the driveway, no.
If you know, sir, did he complete the do you know whether Mr. Fung did his collection of evidence outside Rockingham in the morning before he went to Bundy?
Since the fact that evidence, Your Honor, the evidence that he wasn't there. Since the fact that evidence.
Sustained.
In the afternoon, sir, when you saw him at Bundy, where was he primarily doing his work?
Counsel mistakes, sir. It seems like.
I'm sorry, what did I say, Bundy?
You said Bundy.
I meant Rockingham.
He was inside the location.
Did you observe him conduct any testing in either the foyer or the bathroom of the location for blood?
Or
I observed him conducting tests in the upstairs master bath.
What kind of test did you see him conducting?
Presumptive examinations for the presence of blood.
Okay. Keep going. Okay, can you see yourself in this clip right now?
Yes.
What are you doing?
I have my clipboard and I'm apparently jotting something down.
Go ahead.
that was 18 836 on the last counter.
Thank you. We can stop here. All right, you've seen the entire tape, have you not, sir?
I believe so. If the entire tape was shown in court, then I did, yes.
Okay. The activities that are shown there, you're present for most of them, are you not?
Yes.
Does this tape show the activities that occurred on the morning of June the 13th in sequence as they actually occurred?
Executive performance, of course, speaks for itself.
Overruled.
I can't say that.
You can't say that? What do you
No.
mean?
In sequence is how things occurred.
Yes, is that how you recall things occurring?
Not necessarily. There were other things that occurred during that time, obviously. We're just looking at the front. It appears to be cut off from time to time. This doesn't appear to be continuous.
Okay. So there are things that took place that are not being shown on this video, on this tape?
Sustained.
Are there things that took place, is everything that took place being shown on this videotape?
No.
The numbers that are shown at the bottom there, sir, at this point, 119-04-10. Okay, do you recall when the coroner's investigators appeared and removed the bodies from the scene?
The coroner's investigator first arrived approximately 9:10 a.m.
And do you recall what time was it approximately when they removed the bodies of Ron and Nicole?
I believe it was approximately 10:30, 10:40, right in that area.
So that number at the bottom of the screen, does that have anything to do with what time it was when those events transpired that are depicted in the screen?
No, I
In
have
the
no
video.
idea what it is.
And are you able to see the two gentlemen? We're stopped now at 119-04-10. There are two men in suits whose backs are to the camera. Can you tell where they're standing, sir?
No, not from that angle. Perhaps the sidewalk, but I can't tell.
You mentioned something about cuts in the tape, sir. What do you mean?
To me, this doesn't appear to be a continuous depiction of what occurred,
And why not?
because it's not continuous. There are areas where it's cut away. One view is cut to another view.
So do you think there are things missing?
Well, I don't know. Again, it appears to me to be from different angles.
Well, Jeff, this is speculation. Tape speaks for itself.
Overruled.
Perhaps different cameras. I don't believe it's continuous throughout.
I think we've covered it pretty much now.
You- You're done. All right, you talked during cross-examination, sir, about shoe prints. At one point, you indicated that the bloody shoe prints at 875 South Bundy appeared to turn and face the condominium.
Yes.
And do you recall where that was in relationship to the front door? Did they turn in front of the front door?
No.
Where did they turn?
It's east of the front door, several feet east on the first level, above the bodies.
So if you're approaching from the walkway, if you're approaching from the sidewalk, going up the walkway and up the steps, how much before the front door did those shoe prints appear to turn and face the house?
I could only approximate 12, 15 feet perhaps,
12, 15 feet before the front door?
approximately.
And were there other did the shoe prints then continue after that like hesitation point facing the door, facing the house?
Sustained. Well, it makes an assumption. They turn it at an angle, do they
turn.
continue beyond that?
Okay. At the point when after the shoe prints faced the house, turned and faced the house, did they continue?
They continued westerly, yes.
Was that in the direction down towards the alley?
Past the front door, westerly towards the alley, yes.
Were they ever found to angle back in towards the house again after that 1 point, 12 to 15 feet before the front door?
I didn't observe them, no.
Now, did you observe Dennis Fung conduct any testing for blood inside the Bronco at Rockingham on June the 13th?
No.
Did you attempt to open the Bronco on June the 13th?
No.
Do you know whether the Bronco was open or locked on June the 13th?
Oh, well,
It's my information, it was not opened.
Seriously.
do you know of your own personal knowledge, Detective?
When I observed the Bronco, it was locked, but I wasn't there for the entire time.
And when did you observe the Bronco in a locked condition?
The morning that I observed the blood on the door?
Were you present when it was towed away?
No.
Did you, at some point, the Bronco was opened, is that correct?
Subsequent to that, when it was examined, yes.
Do you know when and where it was finally opened?
Objection was the word finally. Just include the argument.
After leaving the scene?
Yeah. After leaving the scene.
After leaving Rockingham, actually.
Do you know when and where the Bronco was opened after it was...
That's simply fact nine evidence. That's simply fact nine evidence. The one it was. Might be earlier.
Well, it was opened at some time after leaving the Rockingham scene. Do we agree on that?
Before that, there's no evidence making it open before that.
That's not what the testimony was, though.
All right. Why don't you rephrase the question?
Okay. Was the Bronco opened during the time that you were at Rockingham?
I didn't see it open.
Now, you left Rockingham at what time?
Approximately 6:40, 6:45 a.m.
Okay. And had the Bronco been opened at that point?
I never saw it open.
Okay. And you returned to Rockingham at what time?
That evening,
Yes.
approximately 5 p.m., maybe a little after.
Okay. Was the Bronco still there at the time?
No.
And when did you next see the Bronco?
I believe it was sometime later when we were doing other testing for blood.
Objection to the answer.
And when...
I'm going to strike that answer. It's when you next see it. It's not responsive.
Overruled.
And when was that?
I don't recall the date. I believe it was in early August. I'd have to check. It was at in Impound Yard in Van Nuys.
Do you know where the Bronco was taken to when it was removed from Rockingham on June the 13th?
Yes.
Where?
I believe it was taken to the LAPD print shack.
Do you know whether it was opened there?
That causes speculation.
Overruled.
Subsequent, yes, it was,
Subsequent to what?
to the 13th.
When was that?
I believe it was the 14th or the 15th when it was examined.
Do you know how it was opened?
I believe it was a,
That's the personal knowledge.
Were you present when it was opened?
no, Your Honor.
Next question.
Now, you indicated, I think, sir, that you personally observed that spot of what appeared to be blood on the, just above the handle of the driver's door of the Bronco.
Yes.
Okay, can you describe for us the kind of grip of that door handle?
I would call it an outside left-handed grip,
And why would you call it a left-handed grip?
because in order to open it, one would normally use their left hand because of the placement of the handle and the lock.
Object to that, President, there's no object to that.
Oh,
And the defendant, when you saw him on the 13th, had a cut on the finger of which hand?
Left hand.
All right, sir, you indicated on cross-examination that you found no evidence to indicate that these were drug-related murders.
Object to Paul.
Let-
That's objection, Your Honor. That's not what the testimony was.
Sustained. Rephrase the question.
Okay. Do you recall discussing the subject matter of whether or not there was any indication that these were drug-related murders on cross-examination?
Yes.
Sir, have you ever worked on homicide cases that you determined to be drug-related cases?
Yes.
How many?
I would say perhaps as many as half of the number of homicides I've ever handled.
Which would be?
125, maybe more, maybe less.
Are there certain things that you have found in the course and scope of your experience in investigating drug-related homicides that you look for now, based on that experience, to determine whether or not drugs are involved in a homicide?
Object, Your Honor, object to Paul. Let me approach it.
Yes.